So we're back. This is Low-Key Trying. This is the Insecure Season 4, Episode 9 review. So we open with Issa and Lawrence, basically doing the old Issa and Lawrence, but it's a new Issa and Lawrence at the same time. Got my notes, of course, because I'm not gonna remember everything because they really jam-pack a lot into these 30 minutes. We keep asking for more, but we don't necessarily need it. They want to say make Insecure an hour long, but there's a method to the madness with that. The 30 minutes, the short and sweet, it keeps us wanting more. I think if we get an hour, it's like gonna get to that point where I don't need to watch Insecure this week. I can watch it next week and catch up. Sometimes that happens with hour-long shows. Anyway, so we get into them in full couples mode, except for this is Issa and Lawrence with money. This is Issa and Lawrence not struggling. This is Issa and Lawrence not hating each other and not avoiding each other. This is Issa and Lawrence, falling back in love. Or did they ever really fall out? I think for a moment there, they just kind of drifted away. Anyway. So at this point, we got Kirby's Velvet playing. Just the soundtrack to this show is one of the things that keeps me coming back for more and more and more. The soundtrack, Issa has had the best people in soul and R&B get into this. And, her ears are great as well. She's had Raphael Sadiq and Solange putting this all together musically. And, Melina is, great with her ear as well. She's not just a great director and great producer and filmmaker. She is great with music in general. Anyways, so, they're in full couples mode. They got pizza, after a bunch of different things they had going on, little this, little that, little adult stuff, And, when they're sitting there with pizza on the couch, Issa gets a text from Nathan. And he's basically saying, are you going to be around this week or whatever? Because he has to move. And at this point, Issa's like, do I tell Lawrence about Nathan? Do I not? So then, in Issa's awkward black girl way, did I ever tell you about my friend Nathan? You know what I mean? And basically, to this point, they're in the middle of getting ready to start, round 85 or whatever of them, being adults. And at this point, she's just saying that she wants to be honest or whatever the case is because she doesn't want to mess up whatever they have going on. And she asks, what is this again? And then Lawrence is like, what do you want it to be? I can't stand when people answer a question to a question. You know what I'm saying? Don't answer a question with a question, especially something serious. Don't do that to me. I need to know what's really happening here. So, Issa, also is not sure if he's still messing with Condola, a.k.a. canola oil. And, she just wanted to make sure it wasn't no loose vaginas hanging around. And then, Lawrence basically lets Issa know and reassures her that Condola is a thing of the past. Let's see. They get to talk about San Francisco. I think we all know that Lawrence had an interview in San Francisco. He said it went great. And then Issa asked, are you going to move there? Because she can't be with a trolley nigga. And wait a minute. No, the interview didn't go great. I think he was excited or something. He said he had to nail the interview first. Nail the job. I don't know. It's been a minute. Either way, the job ain't secure yet. And let's see. What else happens next? Oh, Molly goes to therapy. She's in Dr. Rhonda's office. Again, the savior. The Iyanla of the show. The lady we've all been waiting on. The lady we've been needing this entire time has returned to get Molly together. And at this point, I don't even think she can do it. I think we need T.D. Jakes. I think we need Dr. Sherry from every reality show that's filmed in Atlanta, like the Braxton Family Values, Married to Medicine. What's the other show? Was it Housewives of Atlanta too? I think she's been Portia's therapist through both marriages. Anyway, what did Dr. Rhonda say? Let's see. Oh, so Molly says that this is the longest relationship that she's been in with Andrew. She also says that it's harder than she thought it would be. And Molly says that she thought that Issa would have respected her wishes. And, basically this is the longest relationship that she's been in. So she basically is trying to say that Issa overstepped her boundaries. I still don't agree with that. I'm not saying Issa's blameless, but at the same time, Molly, you wouldn't have even met Andrew if it weren't for Issa meeting Nathan and them being friends. There wouldn't even be an Andrew for you to speak of. You wouldn't have this long-ass relationship if it weren't for Issa. So, either way, Let's see. So Dr. Rhonda basically senses that Molly is stressing about Victor, aka Andrew's brother, about Andrew and about Issa. And Molly says that she feels like she's dreading something and she doesn't know what. And I think that's how a lot of us are feeling right about now in America, being black in America. Anyway, um, Dr. Rhonda asked Molly if she feels that Issa is the root of the issue because Issa crossed the line and asked, Nathan to ask Andrew to help with the festival anyway. And of course, Molly doesn't hesitate to say yes. And then, of course, Dr. Rhonda is going to put Molly in her place and she goes, well, is there anything that you feel is wrong with you? What did you do? What is your part in this? What could you have done different to change the outcome of all these things? And basically, I think at that point we were all jumping for joy for Dr. Rhonda to say and, tell Molly these things. The stuff that we've all been thinking, Dr. Rhonda finally always said it. Sis, you're the common denominator. You might really be the problem. You really might be the issue. You know what I mean? You got to take a look at yourself in the mirror. The same way Issa talks to herself in the mirror, I need Molly to have that one-on-one moment with herself in the mirror because she is on everyone's damn nerves. And, let's see. Oh, so Molly says no. Issa has to apologize to her. Of course. Why would Molly say, that she needs to be the one to apologize or whatever the case may be? And then that's when Dr. Rhonda goes, well, I mean, do you notice a pattern here? With Andrew's brother Victor, with Dro, with your father, and, her family, and with Issa. And, what does she say? Oh, basically when Molly gets angry, she puts up a wall. Oh, she also brought up TRYIN from work. As soon as Molly gets angry, as soon as she's upset, she puts up a wall, holds a grudge, and the wall does not come down. Let's see. And then of course, Issa was out of line. That's Issa's fault. Again, playing the blame game. So then at this point, Dr. Rhonda goes, do you want to be right or do you want to be in a relationship? Then Dr. Rhonda, because in the beginning of the show this season, Issa and Molly wrote in this whole self-care Sunday thing and talking about things that serve them and things that they don't. And Dr. Rhonda asked Molly, is this a relationship that still serves you? Given everything that's happened, does it still benefit you? Does it still work? And then, Molly goes, well, I mean, of course it's Issa. She's my best friend. And then, what did Dr. Rhonda say? I think she asked her, was it worth repairing? Is this worth going forward? And is this worth trying to fix? And, we don't really find out, until the episode ends. We don't really get into that. And let's see. We get to Issa. She's at her house. She's working. And then she finally talks to Nathan and says, yes, she can help him move or whatever the case may be. And he says, come by after 3, all that good stuff. She needs advice about her and Lawrence and then about her and Nathan. She don't know who to call. Of course, we all know who she should call. She needs to call Molly and talk about it because that's the person that's the go-to. She calls Kelly, I think after she calls her brother. I forget who she calls first, but she calls Kelly. Kelly goes to voicemail, and then Kelly also has 2 voicemails. She has English and she has Spanish. Why wouldn't she? Because she's Kelly. She calls her brother. Her brother has absolutely no advice, just none. Amal is sometimes the best supporter for Issa, and then just sometimes absolutely pointless. And I think he does it on purpose. And he's in the middle of eating spicy island food, and I forget whoever he's with, but he was like, I told you. And he just is dying of thirst. You know what I mean? I don't know what, it must have been extra on the curry because he was dying. And let's see, what else happens? I think Issa said thank you for absolutely nothing when she was asking for advice about Nathan and Lawrence or whatever the case may be. And then Amal goes, you get what you pay for. And let's see. So Issa considers calling Molly, but then she has a like a little That's So Raven vision and basically is like, yeah, maybe not. But Issa does it anyway. She calls Molly and leaves a voicemail asking if they can meet up. So then they go to a diner and she's waiting for Molly to arrive. She is shredding a napkin in fear and anticipation. She's nervous. She's anxious. And I think the waitress comes and says if she wants anything, and then the waitress is like, "Look, I'm gonna just bring you a drink or whatever the case may be." They get together, they order mimosas, and then they get right into it, almost like old times. But you could tell there's tension underneath of it, and you could tell there's something underlying, and you could tell that something still isn't right. They get to talk about Molly's family, her brother who had the baby on the way that wasn't really his. Turns out the ex-girlfriend left him with the baby that's not really his. So Molly goes, "Now we got a stranger living in our house." And Issa lets Molly know about the East Coast girls, that, the girls from DC when Kyla Pratt was in the episode for the bachelorette party, who dined and dashed her, and it was all part of a list, and it was all part of pranks and fun. And then I forget who said never trust East Coast hoes. I think it was Molly or Issa. One of them said it. And what is they didn't really get into the conversation about the block party and what went wrong. They just, were awkward. It was like friends who hadn't seen each other in years. They catch up. It was awkward, and they hug, kiss, tell each other they love each other, and then that was it. And let's see. So Molly goes to see Andrew. They talk about it, and at this point, Molly just says everything seemed fine, but Issa didn't seem like she wanted to talk about it, and the block party just never came up. And Andrew, of course, being Andrew, always being diplomatic, always being fair, always giving Molly positive advice, says, you could have just met her halfway. You're waiting for her to apologize to you. You're waiting for her to grovel. You're waiting for her to beg for y'all to be friends again the right way. And, or Molly's right way. And it's not going to happen. Issa's not doing it. Issa is a new lady. She's stronger. She's confident. She's more bold. And she's successful now. She's not the quote-unquote bum that Molly wants her to be. She's a new girl. She's not going to kiss your ass, Molly. Let's see. And Andrew also points out, you clearly missed the girl. And, Molly goes, only person I miss is LaToya. So they get into the LaToya show that's been going all season. And they drink wine and watch the show. Let's see. Oh, so Andrew lets Molly know Victor's coming to town. He wants to make up. He has tickets, I think, to a Clippers game. Says it's a peace offering. Molly brushes it off and decides that she doesn't want to go, and she doesn't want to get in the way of them having fun. And at this point, it's just kind of like, there goes the wall that Dr. Rondo was speaking of. Every time somebody pisses you off, you want nothing to do with them anymore. And this is how her and Issa got to where they got. So at this point, Issa is with Koya from the block party, her assistant. And they're thinking about doing a wellness pop-up and all these different things. And the place they were at, Burn Cycle, has signed on as a sponsor. And Issa says she got to learn how to ride a bike. Koya says she ain't messing with bikes. And because one broke her pubic bone in high school. And she had to wear a diaper cast, I think, all through sophomore year. And then Koya takes waffles out of her purse. And Issa asked her, how does she keep them warm? It was 2 Eggo waffles, literally, in a Ziploc bag, and they were still warm. And Issa's like, how do you keep them warm? And then Koya goes, hand warmers. And then Koya offers her one. Issa says no, because she actually looked disgusted. And then Issa decides she wants one anyway. Oh, man. First of all, that is just incredible. And nobody ever would think of that like that. Hand warmers to keep your food warm in the purse. I don't even think that that's hood. That's not even ghetto. That is just absolutely genius, to be honest with you. Let's see. Issa's excited. This is her next event. She didn't really know what it was going to be. She doesn't know how it's going to shape up. There's no name for it. None of that. And but Koya is very, very supportive of Issa. I hope that we see more of her. She's very supportive and is reassuring and always lets Issa know it's going to be great. You're going to figure it out. It's going to be hot just like the last time. It's going to be popping. And then Lawrence calls. She calls him Rice-A-Roni, and then and she calls him that because of his job in San Francisco. And then she tells him that her and Molly met up, and then he asks how it went, and then basically they didn't talk about nothing too deep, but it felt good to reconnect. And basically she says she missed Molly, just the way Andrew pointed out that Molly misses her. Let's see what else happened next. After that, they get into their own relationship and that little bit of a discussion. And then I think Lauren started singing, and then Issa was just like, okay, I'll talk to you later, or whatever the case may be. And let's see. Then we get to Issa and Nathan, and she's helping him move in, and she's starting to coach herself on how to mention to Nathan that she's, I guess seeing Lawrence again or whatever the case may be. She gets into a deep voice. She gets into a Caucasian voice. Then she gets into a, what was it? I think like a rapper's tone. You know what I mean? Like it was so odd. This is completely Issa, and then Nathan gets in, or she gets in, and Nathan opens the door. He tries to hug her, of course, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" Whatever the case may be, daps him up or whatever. And then she dodged him like he had corona, and she like, and like she knew about corona before the pandemic. Anyway, they get to work unpacking stuff, and at this point, Nathan lets her know, "I'm getting ready to buy the shop that my boss has because he's retiring. So me and my boy, we're gonna buy the shop." She congratulates him. And at this point, he goes over again, trying to flirt, and then, she starts to bring up Lawrence, and then Nathan goes, "The one you cheated on?" And Issa says yes, but this time it's different. They're still trying to figure it out. Nathan laughs, and I think that kind of pissed Issa off a little bit. And he goes, "I thought you were over that shit, whatever, he seems sometimey." And then I think Issa defended him, was like, "Well, no, we talked it out. He's this, he's that, and it's brand new and it's better." And Nathan got a little bit, snappy and was like, "Well, I hope you keep his shit together this time." And then Issa hit back with the low blow. At least he knows how to use his words and not disappear. Bam! Well, Nathan paused, said he didn't just disappear, but when he did go back home to Houston, he found out that he was bipolar. He didn't know how to talk about it, and he was afraid that people would judge him and think that he was crazy if he did bring it up. And, he got clarity on everything that he wanted out of his life, and that includes Issa. And, he let Issa know, "Look, I just appreciate you." And Issa said the same thing in return. Well, back at Nathan's old house, where he's a roommate with Andrew, they go back to go get boxes and I guess some more stuff to pack or whatever the case may be. Molly is there, and Andrew tells her about the game, and said he was sitting next to somebody from Migos, and that's how good it was, but he don't know who it was. And let's see. He also said it felt a little bit awkward because he invited Molly and Andrew, but Molly, of course, decided that she wasn't going. Let's see. Oh, Andrew also had to lie to his brother and say that Molly had to work, which she didn't. She just didn't want to go. And let's see. Molly also lets him know that, "I don't know why you'd ask me to do something that makes me feel uncomfortable." And then Andrew says, "You could at least try." The same thing he's been telling her all season long. I don't really see this ending well because she is just so a stick in the mud. And Andrew's optimistic about everything. Try. That's all I'm asking you to do is try. Let's see. Okay, so then Nathan and Issa walk in, and basically they could tell it was a tense conversation. So they was like, "Listen, we getting ready to go. We wasn't even trying to stay. We ain't hungry. We just ate, all of that good stuff." And Andrew says no, just stay or whatever the case may be. And let's see. So they all stay. They end up talking, having a little chat, almost like a game night, almost like a couple's night, except there's only one couple here and some people that used to mess around who are now friends again. They have a conversation about guacamole. Nathan's never had it, but he's also from Houston. I don't know how that makes sense either. You know what I mean? You from Houston, where the population is very, very, Latino and Mexican cuisine, and authentic Mexican cuisine at that. How you ain't never had no guacamole? That's good. I put it on a lot of stuff. Let's see. Oh, he said because it looked like baby food. And then they get into his new place, and then Molly says about her, she talks about her old apartment, and then Issa brings up a wine stain that looked like Suge Knight. So they start to talk about Celebrity Heights, which is a new game when they drink, and if you get the wrong height, you have to drink. And Molly, you could tell, was a little bit resistant towards the situation and maybe a little bit hesitant, but she gives in and lets her shoulders down just a little bit. And let's see. So she sends Andrew a text and says, "See, I'm trying with her. And Issa gets the text. She went to send it to Andrew, but Issa got it. I think we've all got a fear of doing that. Sending the wrong damn text to someone. And Issa says, I don't think this was meant for me. And says that she has to go. And she breaks out, like, gets the hell on real fast. So at this point, Nathan and Andrew are confused as hell. Issa goes outside, calls a lift, is waiting for that lift, and Molly apologizes, of course, or whatever the case may be, and that the text wasn't meant for her. Issa lets her know, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. And Molly just says everything, you know, felt forced, and Issa looked like she was about to cry. She looked really hurt and upset because I think she thought things were finally back on just a little bit of a decent level again. And she also says that she didn't know it was so hard for Molly to be around her. And Issa says, you know, I feel like you're trying, or you say you're trying, but it feels like I'm the only one trying, and I'm the only one putting in effort. And Molly says that brunch and, you know, these games, that's not gonna cut it. And Issa says, you know, they should talk about the block party. And then Molly lets them know it's bigger than the block party. They've been off for months. And Issa says she knew that, or whatever the case may be, and that's why she reached out, but she can't be the only one trying to make it work. And this is the thing that pissed me off with Molly, and that really took me back, like way back. I'm like, whoa. She goes, well, maybe who you are now and who I am just don't fit anymore. That, to me, basically was you telling your best friend with your whole chest that you are not comfortable with her being the successful person that she is now, and that you can't handle her rising in life, and that you need her to be inferior to make you feel superior. And that's fucked up. And anybody that has a friend like that, you need to cut them off. Remove them from your life, because that's toxic and they're cancerous. And I've done it myself. And I still find myself waiting to chemo people. Get your ass out. I'm radiation. I don't need that type of shit in my life, and no one does. Cleanse your life and cleanse your friend circle. Keep it that big if you can. Anyways, and then you know, basically that was just like the final, you know, countdown. That was it. That was the timer. We're done. And, you know, Issa looked upset, and I think she was just like, wow, okay. And then Issa, you know, basically was like, all right, I ain't about to fight. I'm not begging you once again. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to kiss your ass to be friends. I don't need it that bad. Not anymore, I don't. And then Molly was just like, wow, okay. Like, almost like, that's it. That's all you're going to say. And, you know, almost like she was disappointed Issa didn't beg her, like she didn't grovel at her damn feet. And then I don't know what she was expecting Issa to say, but I wouldn't have said much either. Okay, that's how you feel? I'm out. And Issa said there wasn't much more to say. She got in her lift and she peeled out. And, you know, hopefully we'll see what brings them back together in the finale. But, you know, I agree with Issa once again, and I agree with Andrew, and I agree with Dr. Rhonda. Molly is unraveling. You know, probably the smoothest unravel we've seen, but she is. Anyways, rest in peace to George Floyd. Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. Justice for Breonna Taylor. We need her killers arrested. We need them fired. And I will see you guys with the next review for the season finale. Thank you. Like, rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Are you Team Nathan? Are you Team Lawrence? And who's right in this friendship? Is it Molly? Is it Issa?